Let's turn, gentlemen, to Iraq. Al-Qaeda taking over Ramadi, Fallujah. I mean, I can remember vividly, as I'm sure you both can, the troops we lost in taking those cities and holding those cities. Ralph, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense that we have, even as we are leaving Iraq, not left a force strong enough, a government strong enough, a military strong enough to hold on to the Iraq that we left, al-Maliki.
Well, again, politics. Obama declared he knew nothing about strategy or foreign policy of the military, but because Iraq was Bush's war, Obama declared that the bad war, even though Iraq has strategic importance. By default, Afghanistan becomes his good war, which he doesn't believe in either, but he pursues for political reasons. Well, yes, when his precipitous flight from Iraq spat on the graves of our soldiers and Marines who died and were maimed in fighting for Fallujah in 2 battles. And, you know, imagine, Lou, how different the entire Middle East might be today had Obama left a small residual force in Iraq. There'd be no superhighway for terrorists from Tehran to the Mediterranean. Iraq, our relations with Iran would be different. Syria would be different. We'd be respected. He threw it all away.
Andy, as you look, you've written extensively on this contest between the radical Islamists and Western civilization, and of course specifically the United States. How does this resolve itself now? He's committed the United States to withdrawal. We are seeing the overrunning of Iraq by Al-Qaeda. There will be a further conflict between Sunni and Shia. We understand that. And now, as we leave, one almost could say abandons Afghanistan itself. What is the result of it all?
The result is that we leave behind a situation which replicates the late 1990s, where Al-Qaeda is able to establish confident safe havens from which they can project force and attack the West. And the big problem with Iraq, I think, is that it was incumbent not only on the current administration, but on the last administration to hammer home to the American people the real reason that we needed to be there, which had nothing to do with building Iraqi democracy. It had to do with preventing Al-Qaeda from projecting force. Without having made that political case, I think we've sort of laid the groundwork for what we have now, which is a mess, and not one that's going to be resolved anytime soon.
And to be clear, and I'd like you both just to answer very quickly because we're so far over on time. And Ralph, if I may start with you. Our Special Operation Forces, our troops are going to be in Afghanistan to protect U.S. interests as they are perceived by our civilian leadership and this president. It doesn't really matter whether or not the president of Afghanistan says that there will be a bilateral security agreement or not, does it?
Well, it does matter because we have the pretense of legality. But if I just, can respond to the question you asked, Andrew, as well. When we leave Afghanistan as well, having left Iraq, what we leave behind is a bloody mess, multi-layered civil wars. In Iraq right now, it's Shia against Sunni, Sunni against Sunni, tribe against tribe, moderates against Al-Qaeda. I mean, we are going to see a bloodbath in the Middle East in the coming years that will dwarf what we have already seen in Syria.
We are seeing it, but if we're going to have our people there, we ought to give them rules of engagement that allow them to fight and defend themselves.
Yes.
I think that is a consensus amen. Thanks very much, Andrew McCarthy.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.